אוקיי, אז שלום, בוקר טוב, שמח לראות את מי שהגיע. במסגרת הפעילויות של אנרג'יקום, שזאת קהילת החדשנות באנרגיה של ישראל, במקביל לכל העבודות המקצועיות שאנחנו עושים, הכנסים והוובינרים בארץ, אנחנו גם מנסים לעבוד פלטפורמה בעיקר לחברות מתחילות, early stage, אולי גם טיפה יותר, לקיים איזושהי פלטפורמה לגבי קשרים בחו"ל, שזה יכול להיות גם בנושא של שיווק ומחירות וגם בנושא של השקעות, לגבי מי שבשלבים הראשונים יותר מתקשה בעניין, ובמסגרת הזאת נקלטה לנו הזדמנות שאני לא אתאר אותה, כי יש פה אנשים שיודעים לתאר אותה הרבה יותר טוב ממני, אבל נקלטה הזדמנות לכנס מעניין מאוד, שמתקיים, אם אני לא טועה, כבר בשנה השנייה, ואנחנו משתתפים באופן אקטיבי בכל מה שקשור לאלמנט האנרגיה בתוך הכנס הזה, ואני לא אכביר במילים, מפה והלאה אני אתן לאלה שמובילים את העניין לדבר, ואני מודה לכם על ההקשבה.
תודה, אז אורי?
כן, אורי.
אורי, סליחה.
תודה עמוס, ובכלל לקהילת האנרגיה על ההזדמנות לעשות את הוובינר ולשתף פעולה. את יכולה להעלות את השקופית? אני אספר קצת עלינו, אני רק רוצה להגיד שהתערוכה הזאת מתקיימת השנה ה-25, ולמעשה שנה שעברה זה נפל על ראש השנה, אז החלטנו לדחות את ההשקה המפוארת של ביתן ישראל להשנה. אני אסביר קצת מי אנחנו. טוב, אנחנו חברת שנקראת שואו אקספרט דובאי, אנחנו למעשה מתמחים בעיצוב והפקה של ביתנים כבר הרבה שנים, ומאז החתימה על הסכמי אברהם אנחנו התחלנו לייצג תערוכות באמירויות, אנחנו היום נציגים של 11 תערוכות, וזאת אחת מהן. כשאנחנו מייצגים את ישראל, אנחנו למעשה עושים ביתן ישראל, כמו אם ראיתם ביתנים של מכוני ייצור בתערוכות בעבר, אבל גם אנחנו מאפשרים איזשהם כל מיני אפשרויות השתתפות שהן לא בביתן ישראל, גם לחברות מתחילות, לסטארט-אפים, ובעצם לכל חברה אנחנו יודעים להתאים את הפתרון. היום אנחנו כבר גם יודעים לספק מעטפת שירותים כוללת, כי אנחנו גם בנציגים ואז אנחנו רושמים לתערוכה, אנחנו הרבה שנים מתמחים בעיצוב וההקמה של הביתנים, אז אנחנו גם נותנים את הפתרון הזה, ולמעשה את כל המסביב, אם זה שירותי תיירות, שילוח, פיתוח עסקי, קביעת פגישות עסקיות, ועוד ועוד. אביבית, עוד שקופית. למעשה אנחנו בתערוכת WETEX, שתכף נציג של DEWA יציג אותה, אנחנו הולכים לעשות מתחם ישראל, ולתת לכל חברה איזושהי עמדת תצוגה, כמו שאתם יכולים לראות בהדמיה, שכוללת ארונית, מסך, פוסטר גרפי, לוגו, בעצם כל מה שצריכים כדי להציג. מעבר לזה, אני אסביר בסוף, אנחנו מקבלים עוד איזושהי חבילה מאוד מאוד מסובסדת של הטבות מהתערוכה, אבל את זה אני אסביר בסוף. אני רוצה להזמין את ג'רמי, שהוא נציג של DEWA. DEWA זה חברת המים והחשמל של דובאי, שהם המארחים והמארגנים של התערוכה הזאת. הם פשוט במהלך השנים כל יום מקבלים עשרות פניות לשיתופי פעולה, והם החליטו לעשות לעצמם אירוע, שוב זה השנה ה-25, לעשות לעצמם אירוע שבו הם לוקחים אפשרות להיפגש עם החברות ולשמוע על טכנולוגיות חדשות, על כל מיני פתרונות שיכולים לעזור להם ולשותפים שלהם מסביב. ג'רמי יסביר את זה הכי טוב. ג'רמי? נראה אם הוא...
Hi, Ori. How are you?
Hi. Fine. Thank you.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. Okay.
Good morning. I hope everyone can hear me.
Yeah, it's okay.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. My name is Jeremy George. I oversee business support. I work within the business support team here at Dubai Electricity and Water Authority. And it's a pleasure to have you on a beautiful Monday morning. I hope you're well familiar with DEWA. DEWA, very quickly, is a monopoly here in Dubai. We provide electricity and water for the Emirate of Dubai, and everything to do with utilities, solar, water falls under the remit of DEWA. I just want to quickly take you through one of our flagship meetings called WETEX and Dubai Solar Show, which is basically a gateway for companies from all over the world to meet with the officials in DEWA, and obviously to also secure business from DEWA. DEWA alone, I mean, for the next 1 year, next financial year, DEWA has about 30 billion dirhams of projects that are lined up in various sectors, from green hydrogen, electric vehicles, EV charging stations, and of course, not to mention electricity production, distribution, and transmission. So I'm just going to share my screen, if that's okay. Ori, if you can allow me to share my screen, please, so that I can just quickly take everybody through a presentation I've made.
Okay, good.
Regarding DEWA's flagship event. It's called WETEX and Dubai Solar Show. WETEX, as the name suggests, WETEX stands for WETEX, which is Water, Energy, Technology, and Environment Exhibition. So I just want to quickly take you through the presentation I made for WETEX. I hope you can see my screen.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, excellent. So what you see on the screen is basically the logo of the event, WETEX and Dubai Solar Show. We have been doing it for over 24 years. This year is the Silver Jubilee edition of the event. And coincidentally, as you may all know, UAE is also hosting the COP28, the Conference of Parties for the 20th edition, which will be here in Dubai. And as you know, it is DEWA is working with the United Nations and Masdar for making this happen. This COP28 is the largest conference on clean energy and sustainability, and of course, WETEX will act as the commercial side event for COP28. So COP28 will have all the ministers, presidents, the delegations discussing about policy and strategy, while WETEX is the commercial arm where companies can actually promote their technologies and products and services in front of all the major utilities here in the Middle East. So this is basically what I've just covered. So I'm going to skip through the slides. I believe you're all more or less familiar with DEWA. DEWA used to be two separate companies. It used to be Dubai Electricity Company and Dubai Water Company. And in 1992, it was all merged by the then Highness Sheikh Maktoum bin Rashid Al Maktoum, and it was DEWA was formed. And since then, like I mentioned, we are a monopoly providing electricity and water for Dubai. Under DEWA, we obviously have a number of initiatives and projects. One clearly is Green Dubai. Many of you might have heard about the MBR Solar Park, which is the Mohammed bin Rashid Solar Park, which is a 5 gigawatt facility. That is all being held by under Green Dubai. Shams Dubai, for example, is in charge for rooftop solar on top of households, warehouses, major factories, etc. Also, DEWA has one of the biggest and largest R&D facilities in the Middle East. For any company, it can be a startup, it can be an SME, from Israel who has a particular technology, and you could meet with DEWA officials from the R&D team. You can test your product with the DEWA team, and they can help scale it up. You scale it up for utility level, and they can do a small pilot project with companies that have state-of-the-art technology relevant to utilities. Of course, we have Digital DEWA. We have just actually won a Guinness World Award for having the largest site. It's basically a storage site, basically run on solar power. Not to mention, of course, smart applications. Like I said, since we provide electricity for the Emirate of Dubai, we are in charge of the EV charging stations. We obviously implement a lot of artificial intelligence in our day-to-day work. And obviously, energy storage is of prime importance at the moment for our facilities. So, like I mentioned earlier, WETEX and Dubai Solar Show is basically our flagship event for companies from all over the world to meet with the concerned departments within DEWA, and obviously to discuss and pitch their products and technologies, not just for Dubai and not just for DEWA. We have, of course, all the major utilities in the region participating at the event. So, this would be a perfect platform to meet with all the concerned officials. Yeah, and this is your gateway for the GCC region. And some of the 7 pillars that is covered in this event or in the exhibition obviously covers energy and renewable energy, transportation, education, technology, water. Space is a new feature because DEWA has actually just sent up 2 satellites to monitor our electricity generation facilities and water pipeline facilities from space. And of course, health and safety is also a major focus area. About the exhibition, like I mentioned, it's been over 24 years that we've been doing this event. We use about 80,000, close to 80,000 square meters of exhibition space. We have participation from over 55 countries, focusing on all the major sectors under utility. And last year, we had about close to 50,000 visitors. This year, obviously, we are expecting a lot more. And we have about 11 parallel events, which I will actually take you through. And also, just to mention that last year, we did about 64 sponsors. This year, we are already broken that, and we are almost at 70 right now. So hopefully, before the event, which is in 5 months' time, we should reach about 75 to 80 companies supporting the event. This is a bird's eye view of the Dubai World Trade Center. This is how the exhibition is broken down. I'm just highlighting the key features for the WETEX and Dubai Solar Show. Of course, we have a number of technical seminars. What you see here is where the water seminar is going to be. We have the renewables and sustainability seminar. Of course, we have a networking lunch and a dedicated area for startups, for companies, like I said, who want to pitch their technologies to DEWA, and of course, regional utility providers as well. Now, I'm going to just take you through some of the key features, like I mentioned, parallel events involved with WETEX. One is, and practically the most important, is the MENA Solar Conference. Now, this is a global event. Last year it was in Japan, the previous year in Italy. So this year, DEWA has won the rights to host it along with WETEX. And this is strictly for R&D specialists, for scientists who have white papers on solar and want to present their papers in front of the utility market in the Middle East. So we are coordinating with all the major companies in the Middle East, and of course the consulates and embassies as well, to invite their solar and PV manufacturers, EPC contractors, etc., to participate in this event. So getting a chance to speak in this conference would open doors in front of the solar fraternity in the Middle East in one go. So these are the who's who of the solar industry who will be attending the MENA Solar Conference. Please note that this is a paid event. It is a ticketed event. It's not open to the general public. There is charges to attend. So, of course, if you're an IEEE member who is supporting the conference, they have subsidized rates to participate as well. Now, one of the major features is the Leadership Club. Just to let you know, this is a VVIP club for His Highness, His Excellencies, ministers, ambassadors, and of course, C-suite officials from the major solar, EPC, and water companies in the Middle East. So you can imagine a first-class lounge in an airport. That's basically how this Leadership Club is designed, where CEOs, strictly from C-level officials and above, can meet and greet, and of course have one-to-one meetings as well. So as of now, we have Emaar, which obviously is one of the largest developers in the Middle East, based out of Dubai. They have obviously taken the Leadership Club, and they will be hosting it this time at WETEX. Along with the Leadership Club, we have something called as Leadership Roundtables. So if a particular company wants to meet and discuss regarding a particular topic with all the decision makers in the UAE or the Middle East, this is the right thing you can opt for. So basically, for example, a company from green hydrogen that is doing or focused on green hydrogen, they want, they can be hosting a roundtable session. They can invite key decision makers from Dubai Electricity and Water, from RTA, from Dubai Municipality, from Masdar Abu Dhabi, Department of Transport Abu Dhabi. All these people they can invite, or they can let us know. And we, being the government, we will invite these 30 officials for you. We are 30 because this roundtable can fit about 30 people. And this can be a closed door meeting, so that you can discuss the strategy of green hydrogen in the UAE or in the Middle East. A closed door, what I mean is there will be no media covering the event, or you can keep it as an open door as well, where the media, government media will cover the meeting, and obviously it will be publicized on all PR and medias by the government. Networking lunch, as you're familiar with in all major exhibitions and events worldwide, this is a good way in case a company doesn't have a particular product or technology to display. You can showcase your brand at a networking lunch. Of course, you get a chance to speak in front of this, the people having lunch. There are giveaways that can be kept on the seat. You can run your advertisement or video on screens as well. And this is available on all 3 days of the exhibition. There are technical seminars that will be going on during the event, during the exhibition. We have dedicated technical seminars on renewables and sustainability. We have on education and innovation, and of course on water as well. And just as the name suggests, there are everything to do with regard to EV charging, energy storage, energy efficiency. All of that obviously falls under renewables and sustainability. Education and innovation, the Embassy of Israel, for example, had taken a prime slot last year to push their agenda, showcase what they are doing when it comes to innovation, and of course also educating the upcoming generation with regard to solar and renewable interest, because they will be leading this segment for the future. Of course, we have a dedicated water seminar as well for any company who have new technologies and who want to present their technologies during a technical seminar discussion. One thing that we are starting this year is a startup challenge. Now, DEWA is joining hands with some of the biggest government-supported startup accelerators here in UAE. We have combined our forces with Dubai Future Foundation in Dubai, with Masdar in Abu Dhabi. They have an accelerator called Catalyst. So it's Dubai Future Foundation, Catalyst, Start AD, which is affiliated with New York University, and of course, Access Innovation from Israel. So there are 4 entities that are supporting the startup challenge, and we will be inviting companies who have breakthrough technologies involved with utility, climate change, sustainability, etc. If they are looking for funding, if they are looking for pilot projects with utilities like ourselves, this will be a perfect opportunity for you to present your products and technology. B2B and B2G program is one of the most sought after feature at WETEX. So what we do is we have a dedicated team in DEWA who will, if a company like yourself has confirmed on board WETEX, within the USA pavilion, within the Israel pavilion, once you're a confirmed exhibitor, this team will contact you about 2 months before the event. They will inform you, they will give you the list of exhibiting companies confirmed for WETEX. You can let us know which companies or which governments you want to meet with, and we will arrange these meetings for you. These meetings are confirmed even before the event, even before you fly out of Israel. You have a full roster of who you will be meeting at what time, during the day. So you have at least 15 to 20 meetings that are assured for you before the event. So that can, obviously boost your return on your investment, and it's guaranteed. This is just some of our major supporters for the event. Of course, like I said, this is the 25th edition of the event, our Silver Jubilee. So we basically have some of the biggest names already supporting the event. We have about 21 million dirhams allocated just for, marketing and PR, in the Middle East. So there will be a lot of support that, all the companies will be getting and branding at the event. These are just some of our, sponsors and exhibitors that have confirmed so far. Like I mentioned, we look to have at least 70 to 75 companies. Companies sponsoring the event. I know I'm taking much of your time, but I really want to quickly show you an overview of the exhibition as well. This, as you see, is a bird's eye view of the Dubai World Trade Center, which we have taken for the WETEX exhibition. We have divided the exhibition halls based on sectors. So the hall that you see below is mainly dedicated for sponsor companies. And I'm just going to zoom in so that you can actually see some of the companies that have already confirmed on board. I hope you can see my screen. So as you can see in the sponsor hall, we have, of course, DEWA stand in the center. We have Masdar, which is Abu Dhabi Future Energy Company. We have Empower, which is into district cooling. Etihad Water and Electricity, which is the electricity and water provider for Northern Emirates. Siemens, Aqua Power, the Road and Transport Authority of Dubai. Diamond Developers, Enoch, which is the national oil company in Dubai. Dubai Cables. And of course, these are Saudi companies, SWCC, Saline Water Conversion Corporation, etc. Hyundai, all these are major sponsors who are spending 200,000 dirhams to 2 million dirhams, supporting the event. And I'm just scrolling on top so that you have a better idea of the water hall. So halls 1, which you can see over here, as you can see, this is the entrance to hall 1. Hall 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of that is dedicated for water and wastewater technologies. This is where the water seminar is taking place, this area in green, where companies from the water sector can speak and present their technologies. We have a number of country pavilions, allocated in the water halls, because obviously the companies are in the water sector. This area, the areas for countries are allocated in blue color. So this area that you see in blue is Russia. We have Poland. I'm just going to zoom in so that you have a better idea. We have Taiwan. As you can see, we have Israel pavilion dedicated for water companies. We have Germany, Korea, Italy, Switzerland, all allocated within the water pavilion, and of course Turkey as well. Just scrolling on, moving on to the other halls. Hall 6, the entire hall 6 is dedicated for China. That is over 1,500 square meters of companies from China. And moving on to hall 7 and 8, we have the solar, sustainability and innovation companies. I'm just going to zoom in, sorry. I know it's a little inclined or crooked, but I hope you can still see the name of the companies. We have, of course, Canadian pavilion. We have an Israel pavilion allocated here as well. Singapore, India, Latin America, Netherlands, Belgium, Japan, all of that within this area, within the innovation and solar zone. And of course, we also have a number of government authorities. As you can see, Dubai Municipality over here, they have their stand here. We, of course, have DEWA stand. The Dubai Green Fund, which is supporting and funding green initiatives all over the world. We have Etihad Esco, that is looking at retrofitting of buildings in the UAE, Emirates Steel, etc. And very quickly moving to the side, like I said, this is where the Leadership Club is going to be allocated, which has been sponsored by IMAR, and the MENA Solar Conference, which is the technical solar conference for the WETEX exhibition. I hope I have covered a basic or given you a basic idea regarding the WETEX exhibition. Please feel free to give me, ask any questions you may have. I'll be happy to assist you. Or of course, Ori is there, or Ori can collate your questions and let me know, and I'll be glad to assist you and take you forward, and of course, possibly meet you here in Dubai. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Jeremy.
Most welcome.
Okay. תודה לג'רמי מדיווה. נמצאים איתנו אביעד תמיר, הנספח הכלכלי באמירויות, והצוות שלו, Ali, you are here?
Hello, everyone. I'm just checking in if Abiad is with us yet. If not, I'll just kind of go ahead and use my 10 minutes. My name is Ali Alexan, and I am part of the Economic Trade Mission here in UAE, part of the Israeli Embassy. I have been working here in the region for about, I would say, 8 to 9 years, but has been predominantly in the oil and gas industry, always here in Abu Dhabi. So what I'll be kind of talking a little bit briefly on is the ecosystem for the oil and gas region here in UAE, and just kind of take you through a little bit of maybe a bit on the vision, what is currently in the pipeline, as well as then a bit on the energy transition, and as well as last, I'll talk a little bit about perhaps options of collaborations with Israeli companies in the sphere of the UAE. Now, so what I would say about the UAE will be obviously with oil and gas companies, if you look at the most profitable companies of last year, you will find all your IOCs there. So all your Aramco, Exxon, BP, Shell has been still the most profitable companies in 2022. Now, Abu Dhabi and ADNOC National Oil Company is an NOC. However, an NOC that is looking into transitioning internationally. So this little region, which is Abu Dhabi, holds 10 of the largest oil reserve in the world. I do have to mention Dubai has no oil, so sorry about that. So all the oil is really here. And hence why the ecosystem for the oil and gas has been very much saturated in Abu Dhabi and Western region, which covers most of UAE, to be fair. And we have vast oil reserves. Now, at the moment, we are on 3 billion barrels a day. And by 2027, it will be 5 billion barrels a day. So that kind of gives you a little bit of an indication that although we're going into clean tech, and that is what is the theme, and oil and gas is a bit of a dirty word, nonetheless, in order to facilitate the clean tech and the energy transition, in the pipeline is still very much your traditional fossil fuels. So ADNOC has now as well also a large natural gas reserve. However, that is, I would say that is at the moment the focus due to the obvious geopolitical situation in Ukraine and Russia. So this has been sort of the most forefront, and ADNOC has been acquiring quite a lot of assets, mainly in Northern Africa, because he wants to position itself as a gas provider to Europe and the West. Pipelines that are in the making, so this is one of the core moving forward. Now, what I do need to mention is other Emirates that are involved as well, which is Fujairah Port. Fujairah Port, which is in the north, is going to be the absolute hub for storage. We recently had an IPO for the LNS. This is 200 vessels, which are deployed into reaching, obviously, various international regions. Then we established AGT, which is Abu Dhabi Global Trading, and ADNOC Trading. Now, this is all to sort of steer away from what happened back in 2016-17 when there was the oil crisis. So hence, these are the preparations for that to not happen again. Now, apart from what I've just mentioned, we also have absolutely great infrastructure in terms of the facilities, state-of-art refineries. It's the petrochemical complexes, which are based in Ruwais, are very, very heavily invested in due to the big expansion, which is created, investment inwards in order to allocate outwards, sort of investing outside. Now, I know, for example, last month was the Rotterdam show, which was clean tech and oil and gas. People were asking, why is ADNOC here? Why is Abu Dhabi? Well, the reason is because it's going international and very fast. So the idea is to kind of grow from here outwards. Now, in terms of the energy transition, a little bit on what UAE has committed on and production aspects in terms of also promising on very environmental stewardship. Here, it's heavily invested in digitalization, automation, artificial intelligence. This is a place which will likely be the hub for all sorts of AI and digital transformation. So this goes very close to along with the oil and gas industry and growth and sustainability. Now, what I would mention in regards to COP28, which we will have here this year, the largest conference for environmental and green energy, and which Sultan Al Jaber, who is the group CEO of ADNOC Group, but also chairman of Masdar. This is something that has been very debated. Why somebody who is the group CEO of a major IOC or NOC, also the president of an environmental conference? Well, people don't know that he initially started in Masdar. Masdar is the clean energy arm of UAE, where you have the sustainability, clean technology for storage, for water desalination. This is where he initially started his career. So, and he's still very much a chairman for it. Now, the goal here is to focus a lot on decarbonization. Aim is to have a net zero carbon emission by 2050, and be for UAE in particular to be the #1 producer and exporter in hydrogen. These are partnerships that are currently in the making. Last week we had Baker Hughes sign on with technologies that will be shared with ADNOC in order to bring to scale hydrogen and be a huge exporter and #1 producer locally. So this is a little bit of the vision, I would say. Obviously, innovation and being a global energy hub requires partnerships, a lot of collaborations. This is, again, very much on the agenda and was very much spoken of last week in the Clean Tech Forum. A lot for all different industries to kind of coexist and partner up in order for that to actually happen. Working in the UAE, what I would say is at the moment, it is, as a region, the country wants to attract businesses to be present and boots on the ground here. This is how they get contribution into the economy, but also these companies then have a forefront into being able to actually tap into all these markets which UAE has partnered up with and will have growth with. Now, for that reason, also, it's very, very competitive. It's extremely competitive, and most companies that you can think of are already in place here. So competition is stiff, and it's very price sensitive, I would say as well. I would say it's very price sensitive because currently we don't have those policies in place that maybe you have in the European Union or in the Western, where you have to focus on a more clean rather than profitable. This is not the case here yet. It always has to make financial sense. You can have fantastic idea, but in the end, it has to be, there has to be a proof concept of how it can make financial sense. So it needs to be sustainable, it should be clean, but it needs to also be profitable. So these are kind of the three things that the region here is very much focused on looking at. But policies, of course, will be in place eventually, and hence why a lot of, we do have Israeli companies that are here already, knowing that sooner or later, those policies that are in place for like the Paris Agreement will eventually end up here as well. So maybe it's a way of kind of being here and anticipating the future, but at the moment, yeah, still profitability is a bit of a priority, not so much clean, unfortunately. So yeah, this is maybe a little bit on yeah, the oil and gas, I think, as a quite broad.
Ali, Aviad want to speak, to give some words? I think he's available now.
Yeah, so thank you, Anergycom, for and Ori, for inviting us this webinar, and also for Jeremy from DEWA that is here and also in the audience. Thank you, Eli. Basically, what I want to say, it's from our experience last year, this is really good exhibition, because at the end, for you as exporter, manufacturer, Israeli companies, you want to go to event which create good leads and good meetings. And we have, I think, experience of like over 2 years here in the UAE with some of these exhibitions with various sectors. And I would say that the support of Ori and DEWA especially, it's crucial, because in a lot of conferences they tell you, oh, you'll come, you get this amount of meeting. Like, I'm not talking about the on the spot meetings that people come in. Talking about real business development that sometimes they offer you, and sometimes it's either in virtual meetings that nobody really check this B2B virtual system. Okay, don't fall for this. Or they tell you we're gonna create meetings for you. And sometimes they say in the list exhibitions, but you don't. But maybe there is like 80% no show. In the case of DEWA, I would say because it's like very heavily invested, I think not just money-wise, also in their heart and vision in this exhibition, they want it to be good, and they worked on this. I think a few months before we worked, our team and Eli led this with DEWA team, this development, and really try to work for every company, see what is the best meeting that we can offer, and even on the spot, meetings that we try to reach out. Obviously, people from DEWA, which is much easier, and also DEWA partners. So a lot of people, like they help us DEWA and help us to get the lead. So there was a good, I think, good feedback from the companies that participated regarding the meetings. Regarding, I think companies, if you are focused, in over the UAE and specifically also in Dubai, so it's a good show to be a presence. People coming also from the rest, I think, over GCC for this conference. This is also 2 weeks before the COP. So for some of you, if you bring like equipment or other things that we need to do, so it's even worthwhile, to extend the time, or even, leave this thing that you need to leave in Dubai and come back 2 weeks after to the COP. By the way, it's completely different than the COP, because this is like professional exhibition, and the people that are going to come and see your product are, distributors, procurement managers, and other people. The COP is more for policy and maybe some innovation. So it's not, to one of you that decided maybe I'll go to this, this is completely different. And us, as the Economic and Trade Mission, we will try we will give our support, okay? Which means last year we had 5 companies, this year maybe like 8 or more, depends how many will register. And we will treat it as our exhibition, regardless if you're going to be in one zone under the brand of Israel or separate or other area. You do what's good for you in terms of the location. We will work with each of you that will register, try to see what is the target list, and ahead of time, try to help with scheduled meeting. And of course, the most important, on the spot, we will be there, especially Ellie and also myself, and try to see any potential leads on the ground, going to other pavilions, you know, and just either schedule meeting for you or bring them to you guys. That's it. Any questions? Yeah.
טוב, תודה אביעד.
And feel free, or you can share my information.
Yeah,
feel free
sure.
to advise with me, with Ellie. She's, you know, I think the expert for everything in this region for energy and water.
אוקיי, תודה. אביבית, יכולה לשים את השקופית סיכום, נעשה 2 דקות ונשחרר את כולם. אביבית? אוקיי. טוב, אני רוצה לסיכום להראות רגע את ההצעה. למעשה, אני רק אגיד שההצעה מאוד 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 מסובסדת על ידי התערוכה. אנחנו רוצים מאוד שנשתתף. הם נותנים לנו אפשרויות ששמורות לנותני חסות ולכאלה שלוקחים ביטנים בסדרי גודל אחרים.
אני אגיד באמת, מניסיון גם תערוכות אחרות, זו אומנם עמדה, יש אפשר לקחת יותר, אבל סך הכל זה סכומים שהאמירויות הרבה יותר יקר לעומת מקומות אחרים בעולם. מי מכם שהולכת תערוכות אחרות, אם מדברים פה, זה לא ביטן בגודל כזה, אבל אם מדברים על לקחת ביטן של 9 עד 12 כזה, זה דברים שיכולים להיות 12 ו-14 אלף דולר. זו הסיבה שאורי, אני חושב, הולך על גישה שיותר מתאימה, יותר עמדה שהיא מתאימה להצגה ובעמידה. זה דברים.
אוקיי. אז למעשה מה שההצעה הייחודית כוללת עמדת תצוגה, אתם יכולים לראות משמאל שנה שעברה את רד שעמדו בעמדה כזאת. אזור לפגישות עסקיות, אנחנו עושים פינות ישיבה. פגישה עם הנהלת DEWA, זה מה שג'רמי הזכיר שזה משהו שהוא מובטח, ועד 15 פגישות עסקיות זה רק מה שDEWA, הצוות B2B או B2G מארגן. כמובן שבעזרת הצוות של אביעד אפשר להגדיל את מספר הפגישות. יש פה את הסכום להשקעה בהרשמה מוקדמת, ואחרי הרשמה מוקדמת, כל שאלה אתם יכולים כמובן לפנות אליי, ואביבית תשתף לינק לדף הרשמה, אתם יכולים פשוט למלא שם את הפרטים, ואנחנו נחזור אליכם ונוכל להתאים לכל אחד את הפתרון שלו. יש גם אפשרות לעשות ביטן עצמאי, זה כתוב פה למטה, אני ידון עם חברות שזה רלוונטי עבורם, שלא רוצות לקחת עמדה, או שיש להם מוצרים להציג, או דברים שצריך לתפור במיוחד עבורם. תודה.
אוקיי, אז תודה רבה לכולם, ואנחנו באמת נשלח לכל מי שישתתף את הפרטים, ואתם מוזמנים להיות בקשר.
תודה.
תודה רבה.
תודה רבה. אפשר שאלה שנייה, אורי?
כן, כן.
תודה רבה.
יש אופציה להשתתף בתערוכה וב-B2B בלי ביתן, אם אנחנו early stage ואין לנו כך מה להציג כביתן, יש משהו מודולרי כזה שאפשר לעשות?
אז אנחנו, שזה יצרנו את העמדות האלה, עמדות תצוגה, אבל אם אתה רוצה תדבר איתי באופן פרטני ונמצא איזשהו פתרון. בגדול אי אפשר, שוב, גם העמדה שהגענו אליה, אנחנו מקבלים את הסכמה של DEWA לתת את כל החבילה מסביב, גם לכזה, כי שוב, זה חברות משלמות שם $50,000 ומעלה, כדי בכלל להתחיל לקבל את מה שג'רמי הציע במצגת ומה שאנחנו נותנים, אבל בוא תדבר איתי בפרטני ואנחנו נמצא את הדרך.
אוקיי.
אורי, תודה רבה, תודה לכם על ההצגה.
תודה, ביי ביי.
תודה, ביי ביי.